Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren
and I'm Maureen.
Yeah, so today we're going to be covering a very controversial topic, whether the American anthem is racist or not. So this is a debate that has been going on the internet, and especially ever since the Baltimore Bridge fell down. So there's a lot of people who are saying black people are sensitive, but it's not only black people who are calling the national anthem of America racist. Even white people have come out to say that it is. Yeah, but other black people also say that the national anthem, they never realized that it was racist, and others have taken the stand to it is not racist. So let's watch this clip, and then when we come back to talk about it, you guys can let us know whether you think the national anthem of America is racist or not. Yeah.
Francis Scott Key wrote a poem that became the national anthem. It was called the Star-Spangled Banner. Key, who was a lawyer, was said to have been racist, and so were the lyrics in a verse that was omitted from the original version of the poem. Let me tell you about it. I'm the young black mayor, your #1 history influencer. Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner on September 14th, 1814, after witnessing a surprise attack by the British on Fort McHenry. This was the ending of the War of 1812. The poem was set to the tune of popular English music, written for a gentleman's club in London. For over 100 years, it was too controversial to be the national anthem. During the war, Great Britain offered land and freedom to any American slave who escaped and joined their army. There is a part of a verse which was removed that caused the controversy. The lyrics suggest that black slaves who escaped from bondage and joined the British Army to fight were not protected from death. It goes like this: no refuge can save the hireling or slave from the terror of flight or gloom of the grave, and the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph doth wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. Some experts say the lyrics were used in hate. Others disagree. However, Key was a member of a wealthy slave-holding family, and he advocated for black people to be sent back to Africa if freed from slavery. About 4,000 slaves escaped to fight for the British, and Great Britain kept its word. Eventually, the verse was removed from Key's poem and adopted as the national anthem anyway. The verse was removed out of respect for the British, not out of respect for black Americans. On March 3rd, 1931, President Herbert Hoover signed a bill making the song our official anthem. This was a political victory for Southern whites. A parade took place in Baltimore. The color guard led the parade, flying the Confederate flag.
So guys, after hearing what our brother has to say, let's just listen to the American national anthem, specifically the bit that people are arguing is racist. That is the third stanza, right? Before we comment on this topic, right?
Without footsteps, pollution, no refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave, and the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph doth wave.
In case you doubt the lyrics to the third verse of the national anthem that you just heard, these are the handwritten lyrics from Francis Scott Key. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. He is celebrating the murder of enslaved people. And why would he do that? He was the wealthy owner of enslaved people. He came from a Maryland plantation-owning family. In United States versus Reuben Crandall, he prosecuted a man for possessing abolitionist literature. He was the city prosecutor in Washington, D.C., and he sought the death penalty. And here is his closing argument. Are you willing, gentlemen, to abandon your country, to permit it to be taken from you and occupied by the abolitionist, according to whose taste it is to associate and amalgamate with the Negro.
But we hear there is another anthem now called the Black Anthem. Yeah? This is supposed to counter the American National Anthem, and black people have accepted the Black Anthem and identify with this anthem.
Yeah, so
and
the Black Anthem was performed by not Jill Scott, but Andrea Day. I love Andrea Day.
To her, she thought it was right to perform the Black Anthem at a Super Bowl event, but people came out and called her out for doing this, and others commended her. But let's see the reaction on the internet of how people took to her performing the Black Anthem at a sports event in America.
Divisive Black National Anthem performance at the Super Bowl sparked outrage on social media.
In a country where we try to stop racism, instead we choose to have two national anthems, one for black people and one for all the other Americans.
Separating black people again from America in a weird and unpatriotic way.
Some critics have been wondering if every other ethnic minority should perform their own national anthem as well.
Like I've been saying to a whole bunch of Latinos and indigenous people, they are prioritizing black people above you.
Andra Day defended the performance, arguing that people always tend to dislike new things.
When culturally we're doing new things, it can be, difficult for people, and I'm using very, very polite terms right now. This is truly a moment of togetherness.
Also, what the fuck's this Black National Anthem about? We're literally going backwards as a country with racism. We're not going forwards. The regular national anthem is for everyone that's an American citizen. Black people and white people and Asian people, everyone. The Black National Anthem is only for black people. Yet, if there were a white national anthem, it would be racist. It would be so fucking racist. If we had a White History Month, so racist. This is illogical. It does not make any goddamn sense. Yet, we can't say it's racist to us. We're going backwards, guys. We're all supposed to be one. We're all supposed to celebrate one national anthem. By having a separate national anthem, it just doesn't make goddamn sense.
A lot of people don't understand what the root of privilege is when we're talking about any kind of privilege. The root of any branch of privilege is blissful ignorance. It's being able to navigate your life willfully and very ignorantly through your very narrow perspective. When women go out in their everyday life and they're worried about confrontation with another man, being raped, walking by themselves somewhere, being taken advantage of, just women having to take precaution just for being a woman, which is a perspective that I as a man will never experience, which is why I have male privilege. Someone that is financially stable telling a much more poor person that they can figure it out, they can save money, you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That is their financial privilege. That they are speaking from a perspective that they have no idea about. Their ignorance to being poor currently gives them their financial privilege. Even me being a 6'1" decent looking man, what do I look like trying to give girl advice or approaching advice to a 5'6" not so conventionally attractive dude? What works for me probably won't work for him, right? And white privilege is no different. You have the privilege to not understand. You have the privilege to not care. You have the privilege of experiencing society in such a blissful way that you won't even realize you have it better or admit it. If you are a gay, trans, bi, or feminine guy, when you walk into a room, the world judges you on your masculinity and manhood instantly. As a straight man, when I walk into the room, I have the privilege to bypass those judgmental stamps. So the next time you want to speak from the perspective of something you have no experience about, don't.
So I've got something to say about the Black National Anthem that I think a lot of people are missing. There's been a lot of talk about it, obviously. And I think everybody's missing one single point. There has never been a more racist, publicly accepted racist agenda. Ever. You have one race putting themselves above every other race in the United States. Our national anthem is for all Americans. Every single one of us. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever other country that you came here from. My family migrated from Germany Do I need a German national anthem in America? This is wrong on so many levels. You are, as a culture, whoever subscribes to this, is putting yourself above every other person in this country. There has never been a more racist idea. This isn't about black and white. This is about one race above all others. And that's just wrong. And I'm glad to see a lot of people are pointing out that it's wrong. I tried to do it yesterday and got shadow banned. I normally get hundreds, if not thousands of views on my videos, and I put one out yesterday talking about the game, and I got 50 views. And I didn't get those till this morning. That was 24 hours later. I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the coming days as we get closer to this selection process for those that would supposedly lead us. You're going to see more and more of the shutting up of people that they don't want people to hear. So, buckle up.
This is proof that the United States is not so united. The Black National Anthem was played this past weekend at the Super Bowl. How are Americans ever going to come together as one when we have different national anthems for different races? Plus, we already have a national anthem in America that represents all Americans. Oh, say, can you see? Come on, imagine a white national anthem at the next Super Bowl. Would that be racist? Like and follow to stay informed.
The national anthem is very racist. Or is it? Let's look at it together. And where is that band who so vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle of confusion, a home and a country, should leave us no more? Their blood has washed their foul footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the hireling enslaved from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the star-swinged banner in triumph doth wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. A lot of y'all were like, read the national anthem, it's racist, you're ignorant, and blah, 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 and etc. And I did. In fact, I memorized it a long time ago, so I've known this for a while. That, in fact, the national anthem is not racist. And I will be doing this in multiple parts. But my main point for this is context. When you're looking at anything in history, context is the number one thing you need to keep in mind. Why something was done, said, or, yeah. And I'm going to dive deeper into this with part 2. The national anthem isn't racist. Part 2. Many people see and look at the third verse of the national anthem and they see slavery, or the word slave, and hireling. Most of the time, they completely forget the hireling part when they're trying to make the analysis and statement that the national anthem is racist. When I say context, you have to go back and look back who the heck we were fighting. The glorious people over the pond, the British. This was written during the War of, I believe, 1812. As a nation, we were slaves to the British peeps, and we were still having to fight their oppression. During the same time, there was slavery going on. And the glorious thing when you look at this, we were fighting for our freedom as a nation in order to deal with the freedoms that needed to be given out in our own country. If we didn't deal with it externally and snuff it out then, we would have never been able to deal with it as a nation internally, even though as long as it did take. So like, the land of the free, the home of the brave, it was not written for black people. It was written for all people encompassing America, including the slaves during the time. By the way, if y'all ever bother looking up a little bit of history, find out who was the first legal owner of slaves. And I believe the colony of Virginia. And then get back with me. But I don't know, I might make a part 3 of this.
So guys, after you've heard the national anthem of America, there is a celebrity in America who did her own rendition of the national anthem. And of course, white people and other races, but mostly white people, did not take lightly to how she made adjustments to this national anthem.
Yeah, and at this point, there's clearly no doubt about the person who wrote this national anthem being racist. That is not even in question. It's clear that he was racist. So let's listen to the rendition of this American celebrity, a black celebrity,
and listen to the words of how she altered the national anthem.
Yeah.
Whose blood built this place? Watch me, with sweat and bare hands. Watching me. But you'll die in this place, and your memory fades. Watching me. Oh, say, does this truth hold watching me. This is not the land of the free, but the home of the slave.
So guys, that was just Jill Scott's rendition of American Anthem. It is her rendition.
After watching what we had compiled for you and the research we came up with, we are going to throw this question over to you. Do you think, after all this, do you think the national anthem of America is racist or not? And do you think the black community is valid in creating their own
black anthem? They didn't say it was the American national anthem. They said it was their black anthem.
Yeah.
But people are torn when it comes to the national anthem of America, because as you've seen, some are saying it's racist and some are saying it's not racist, and others are saying that the black anthem should take hold for the black community, and other communities and other races have come up to say this is just splitting America as a whole and that this should not happen. What do I say? If really truly the American anthem, a higher percentage of people will feel that it is racist, my way forward should be, instead of the black community coming up with their national anthem, instead of the Hispanic community trying to validate them coming up with the national anthem because blacks have done it, I suggest that if it is truly racist, they should write a new national anthem altogether that will be inclusive of everybody.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I believe the same. I believe America right now has great songwriters and singers, people who can come in a room and represent everybody and write a new national anthem. If America
get to that point,
yeah, I think the biggest problem with this national anthem is the person who wrote it, because every word that comes out of a racist person, especially this Francis Scott, I believe the black community are not ready to hear it because of the person who wrote it. And maybe it does mention things that, you know, black people feel like it's racist towards them. So the way forward would be for all
a new national anthem to be written all together.
Yeah, if it was changed 100 years ago because they felt like there was some verses that were too racist.
Controversy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think back then they agreed it would be too controversial because it was racist. So if other groups of people are still feeling the same way they did back then, way forward, if Americans should decide, I think instead of various groups coming up with their own anthems, they should rewrite the national anthem into something else. You get? Yeah. And also this issue came about most especially when the Baltimore Bridge fell, and Baltimore Bridge was also named after Francis Scott, you know, and some black people in the black community attribute this to being good old karma, that God was tearing down the legacy of Francis Scott because he was a racist and the bridge was named after him. So God was erasing him from the footsteps of the earth because of what he represented during his times. So you guys, let us know what you think about today's topic. But do you agree or do you disagree with the today's topic that America's national anthem is racist? So another thing I have to say is that Americans right now, as you've seen from the reaction of the people on the internet, Americans right now, they're championing, I don't know how possible that is, but they're championing for the togetherness of America, and they feel as much that this black anthem is causing further division because it's putting black people on this side, white people on this side, and then there's the Asian people who are coming and saying, look at what about us, you know? Should we also
the black community, they defend this black anthem. They say it brings solace to them, you know. They identify with a lot of things that the black anthem represents.
So my personal opinion is, if these people don't have peace with this national anthem, it will never be a point of bringing people together. If people don't have peace with the new black anthem, it will never be a point of bringing every American together. So as we suggested, why not? I mean, there are experts in America who can give a better way forward, but my suggestion would be if they were able to change something in the national anthem some time back. Right now, if it's causing so much controversy, yet they need a united America, you know, there's a great number of songwriters in America. They all should come together, represent each group, and come up with a national anthem that works for all Americans.
Yeah, because the current standing national anthem, you know, just picture this. Americans, okay, not only Americans, any national anthem, citizens usually pay their patriotic, you know, by singing to the national anthem, respecting the national anthem. But just picture this: if black people in America feel that this national anthem isn't geared towards their betterment, how then will they be able to be patriotic to their country? And how then will how then will they be able to come to the aid of their country? Or will they be called to duty if they can't respect the very thing that should symbolize unity in their
patriotism? Because I know where I'm sitting, you know, the national anthem of my flag, when I sing the words, I really mean it
deep down my heart.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know, you guys, let us know what you think about this episode. If you've not subscribed, remember to subscribe, leave us a like, and you can also share this video to whoever you think is going to help.